Welcome, weebs, gamers, and nerds alike. Anime tie-in games have been very hit or miss in gaming history, with absolutely iconic games like Dragon Ball Xenoverse, Naruto Shinobi Strikers, and One Piece Odyssey. But all too often, when a new anime game is announced, it ends up being just another fighting game, from JJK to Bleach to Hunter x Hunter and more. So in today's video, we go over 10 non-fighting anime games that deserve to be made. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more geek content, and without further ado, let's get into the list. Starting off this list, speaking of, we have Jujutsu Kaisen. This is a rather newer anime to get a game, and most fans were very disappointed to find out it was just another fighting game. Something that would work well is a sandbox RPG where you get to create your own sorcerer. You get to choose which school you go to, either Tokyo or the Kyoto branch, and take classes and spend time with your favorite characters. Take on assignments as you work on raising your sorcerer grade. You can either have it follow the main story or deal with the Shibuya incident and the Culling games, or branch off and do what Xenoverse did and have your own story. You get to choose from a wide variety of different curse techniques while learning the shadow technique from Megami or the Oogie Boogie from Toto, and as you train with different characters, you can unlock new curse techniques to use with your character. The combat doesn't need to be anything insane, but serviceable, kind of like the Ninja Storm games. This has huge potential, and with the Culling game art coming out supposedly next year, it'd be the perfect time to have this kind of game come out. Next up, we have My Hero Academia. A lot like the last game on this list, My Hero would benefit extremely from an open world area game similar to Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. While it would be great to have a game where you can make your own character and have your own quirk in the MHA universe, it just makes more sense to have the player play as Deku and other members of Class 1A through the entire story of MHA. Starting out as the quirkless Deku and then slowly unlocking more and more abilities as time goes on, and you start to train with the professional heroes and other members in Class 1A. The gameplay could be very similar to Kakarot, where you have different movesets and abilities that reset on a cooldown, and you can traverse the entire city doing other quests and jobs that come up, and more will spawn the further you get into the stories, like when you get your provisional hero license. You could also create different scenarios, such as the tournament arc, where outcomes can change if the character you choose to control ends up winning. And the first DLC of the game could be the Vigilante spin-off, which was an absolute smash hit. With Season 8 coming out this fall, this manga being done, and the hype for the show reaching its climax, there is no better time than now to make a non-fighting game in this universe. Next up, we have Bleach. The fact this doesn't have a non-fighting game is absolutely criminal, especially when Naruto and One Piece both do. Who wouldn't want to make their own character and decide if they want to be a Soul Reaper, a Rancor, or a Quincy, and move up the ranks of each, potentially changing the entire story of Bleach? Being able to get your own Bankai would be so many anime fans' dream come true. Of course, that would be kind of hard to balance properly with how many broken Bankai and Schwifts there are, so instead, a game similar to Fire Emblem Three Houses, where you get to control in a tactical RPG as you progress through the main story with who you choose to go with, either the Arankars, Quincy, or the Soul Reapers. You'll get different endings encouraging replayability. Bleach gets slept on enough as it is, and it's about time we get a good game, especially with the final season coming out next year. Now with a more unconventional pick, we have the Isekai Quartet. Everyone loves Animal Crossing, being able to build your own little island with different unique villagers. Now put an Isekai Quartet skin over it with the cute chibi-like models and you have an instant success. Being able to create your own little character and create a nice base, farm, mine, fish, and hold events with other characters of Overlord, Konosuba, Sago Tanya the Evil, and ReZero. This game would end up leaning more towards Stardew or Rune Factory, with you going out to explore the different places like Nazarick or Axel, interacting with the different NPCs and recruiting them to join your ever-growing village. Each NPC could give you different perks, like Aqua improving water efficiency, or Tanya improving ranged attack mobility. The opportunities are endless. These are some of the biggest isekai out there, and the mashup anime is very well beloved. Plus, who can say no to more fun, cozy games with characters you know and love? Now we have 86. Since season 2 of this is probably not gonna happen for a long while, what we need is a great game to hold us over for the indefinite future, and what better than a mecha tactical RPG similar in scope to maybe Valkyria Chronicles 4. The lore and world in this anime is extremely dense, and being able to play as Milize as you make plans and position troops to take on various missions would be a lot of fun. The combat would be a lot of fun, especially since it's very mech focused. Maybe even add the ability to customize the mechs a little bit here and there would add for a lot of replayability. Playing through all of season 1 would be amazing, and then they can just follow the manga for the rest. The story beats would play in semi-animated scenes and visual novel sequences, pairing it with the tactical aspects of troop placements, and it'll really feel you're in the world of this widely renowned gem. Up next is One Punch Man. Hear me out on this one. Doing a ridiculously overpowered character in a game is difficult to pull off. I mean, how do you keep a game entertaining with someone who's just absolutely broken and beats everybody in, well, one punch? You do what Asura's Wrath did and make it a third-person action beat-em-up game with insane boss fights. One Punch Man is quite literally perfect for it, just following his story as he goes from normal Joe to annihilating the physical exam to being the strongest hero ever. There could be a bunch of minigames like the hero exam, playing rock paper scissors with Bang, and more. What makes this such the perfect game is the boss fights, which just coincide with Asura's Wrath almost too well, starting off with smaller villains and getting to Boros and eventually Garo and God, who's ridiculously huge. Now that it's in the limelight again with season 3 airing fall of 2025, this is a prime chance to get more people interested in the world of One Punch Man. Now we have a personal favorite of ours, Classroom of the Elite. This is pretty straightforward, and I'm a little surprised it doesn't already exist, but having a Danganronpa style game in the Classroom of the Elite setting works almost too well, trying to find new ways to outsmart other individuals as you try to stay as hidden as possible, building relationships, making enemies, and doing what you can to raise your class from D to A. Being able to play as the cunning, mastermind Gigachad Ayanokoji would be extremely fun, especially in the climactic moments that force you to actually show off how overpowered you really are. While this is more of a niche title, there is still a big enough fan base for this IP that this could do extremely well, especially with the weaker mystery thriller game scene there is. Starting to hit the home stretch of this list, we have Delicious in Dungeon. Even though this is a newer anime, this kind of game would be insanely successful, especially with the rise of survival crafting games. There aren't really many survival games that let you hunt fantastical beasts and cook them for food. Picture this, a game with the bestiary of The Witcher, the gameplay loop of The Forest, and you get to play as the cast of Dungeon Meshi. Sounds amazing, doesn't it? Going through the dungeon as Leos, Senji, Chilchuck, and Marcel, encountering other characters along the way with the main goal of uncovering the secrets of the dungeon, while hunting and killing different fantastical monsters to keep your hunger and health up, is outright exhilarating. From grilling up griffin steaks to making a nice sweet treat of ectoplasm spectre ice cream to treasure bug bites, finding new ways to cook the monsters would be exciting and allow for endless replayability, making this an extremely fun way to spend more time with the great characters and the world of Delicious in Dungeon. Now we have Kaiju number 8. This is an absolute given. Just take Monster Hunter, or better yet God Eater, and throw a Kaiju number 8 skin on it and you have one hell of a game. Being able to make a recruit and take the exam would serve as the tutorial before you either get to choose or are placed in one of the squads, then taking on missions just like in God Eater to track down and kill kaiju. You can either have numbered kaiju appear allowing for rare weapon crafting, or have giant raids requiring multiple people to take down swarms of high magnitude targets, while also allowing for free time to be spent spending time with the beloved characters. The captains and vice captains can help teach you different weapon types and improve your skills and abilities with them. You can even make a spin-off focused entirely on the poor, underappreciated cleanup crew and have the player go in and help clean up the kaiju bits that have been scattered around everywhere. This is a prime target for a Monster Hunter God Eater clone, and Monster Hunter does need some fresh, well-made competition. Last, but definitely not least on this list, we have Hell's Paradise. This was a tough one, as it was hard to decide between a Souls-like and an action horror, but at the end of the day, a Souls-like makes the most sense. creating your own convict sentenced to death for X reason just to be recruited into this mission by the shogunate. You'd have the player join the crew with the merry band of characters introduced in the show like Gabimaru, Saigiri, and more, and be sent off to the island in search of the potion of immortality. There are so many different Souls-esque grotesque monsters already in the animanga, making for perfect basic enemies, having the big named bosses be the Tensen, and you can either work with other criminals as NPC companions or play solo as you explore this hellish island. This is a perfect match made in heaven and a prime for a release, with an art style akin to maybe Code Vein, especially with Hell's Paradise Season 2 finally coming out in winter of 2026. That wraps up our list for some of the best anime games that need to be made. There are so many potential games that should be made, so let us know in the comments below what games you'd like to see. Check out our Twitch and TikTok for more geeky goodness. Leave us a like and share if you enjoyed the video. Until the next video, keep on geeking on.